everybody, we are back. It is Taped on Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com, discount code TDL for 25% off. And then make sure you hit up Homage. Boom. Hit up the Homage link right there. Get that link. Get you some Raiders gear, whatever you want to get. Also, and then also hit up the Tape Don't Lie store. Get you some Tape Don't Lie gear, right? I saw Baby Shug bought a tumbler the other day, so shout out Baby Shug for getting the tumbler. I'm telling you, tumblers are popular, man. I don't know, the people just I don't know if they got
We're keeping people hydrated over here. I guess.
I guess so. I guess so, my dude. I guess so. All right. So today we're doing some more draft stuff. Doing Chase Bisontis, guard from Texas A&M, and safety Dillon Thieneman from Oregon. Who both might be options at 36. I know Bisontis might be a 67 guy, but
gotcha.
I know Thieneman is definitely an option at 36. He's definitely a guy who's getting a lot of buzz to be drafted that high. Any other news that we talk about? Nothing really, right? Nothing really.
No, it seems like it's slowed down. I think we were talking about this beforehand. We're getting to the point where like they have most of the position coaches in. So now we're at like the assistant position coaches, the quality control guys, like the guys that, no offense, were not exactly moving the needle much. Not that we need to talk about them too much. So coaches that are hopefully we'll be talking about in a couple of years from now.
Yeah, maybe moving up, or you know what I'm saying. Like they got the quarterback coach, got the offensive line coach, Rick Dennison.
Did they hire a quarterback coach?
Didn't they?
No, I think they interviewed. They're trying to interview that Trailer. His last name's Trailer. I'm drawing a blank on him right now, but I don't think they've hired him officially. They requested to interview him. Yeah, he's an interesting dude. I mean, I don't think we talked about him. He's an interesting dude. He's super young, but he's worked under Kevin O'Connell and Sean Payton, and then Kubiak too. So should know a thing or two about developing quarterbacks, and but that'd be an interesting. That'd be a good hire. I think they're a good pickup for them. Another young guy that's kind of like the up and coming type of coach, and if things go well in Vegas, he could be a potential replacement for Janoko. But that's thinking well down the line overall. But like I said, had a couple of good mentors in Sean Payton and Kevin O'Connell when it comes to developing that position, the most important one on the field.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then I guess Dennison was hired
officially
as an O-line coach, right? I mean, he's just a Kubiak guy, so they're running wide zone. I mean,
wide zone. He knows how to coach up a reach block. That's for sure.
He's been coaching reach blocks for a long time. So that,
yeah. I mean, I think we kind of assumed that when he got brought on, it was just a matter of like making it a formality. And I mean, the article you wrote for Silver and Black Pride, maybe that had something to do with it, why it took so long. Like if you guys missed that, the Raiders are apparently like in a quote unquote tug of war with Georgia for their O-line coach. So I wonder if that was like the holdup why, like it was reported Dennison was getting hired to the staff, and then it was like 3 days later before they actually like announced his position, which is now a line coach. So maybe that tells us a little bit something about that Georgia guy, that he might not be coming aboard. And that's what they're kind of waiting on. But yeah, the only thing is I think Dennison, maybe at this point in his career, kind of wants to be more of the advisor role and less hands-on. He is older; it's like in his mid-60s. So maybe the plan is to have someone down the line or someone in the pipeline take that over, and to let him kind of move into more of the advisory role. But definitely a breath of fresh air from last year's O-line coach to get somebody with like 30 years of NFL experience, and like you said, well entrenched with the Kubiak family in that offense, in that system. Yeah,
I agree with that. Man. Yeah, but nothing else really exciting happening besides that. But let's get into this. So we're doing Chase Bisontis and Dillon Thieneman. Tell us a little about Dillon Thieneman.
Yeah, so though I know you're talking about him being an option at 36, and I definitely think he can be there. It's the buzzword that we keep bringing up for this draft cycle, the positional value with safeties. Who knows, he might end up sliding. But he's got some pretty clean tape. He's a little bit different than Bud Clark, who I did a couple of weeks ago, where Bud Clark has like the really good ball skills, but was a gambler and kind of get like out of position from time to time because of that. Thieneman is a lot more technically sound and is going to be in the right spot. And I don't like, from what I've seen of him, he doesn't have like, super impressive ball skills or anything like that. Like he had 2 picks this year. We'll see both of them here in the clips that I pulled up. One of them was a bit of a gift from USC at the end of the game there. The other one was a really nice play against Penn State to seal the win. But the year before at Purdue didn't have any. But then again, his freshman season at Purdue, he had 6. It's 6 picks. So I don't know. It's hard to make of what he can do as far as like his ball production goes.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what, you can trust him to be in the right spot, and he's an athletic freak. Like you can tell he can move pretty damn well, pretty fast, can crash downhill, come play, mix it up in the running game and stuff like that, whether it's in depth or when playing in the box. So that's some versatility to him and stuff like that. The one concern I have is I saw a tweet today that was basically saying like he's going to blow it up in the combine. That could put him in the first round category.
Yeah.
So hopefully that doesn't quite happen. But it would not surprise me if he ends up running a pretty good 40 and surprising people, because you'll see some of these clips. Dude can fly. He can come from depth and make some stops, almost near the line of scrimmage a handful of times. So I like him a lot. And the other thing I like about his game too is like he's kind of transformed himself. At Purdue, he was primarily like a free safety. And to begin the season last year, that's how Oregon was using him. And then the second half of the year, they started playing him in the box more and rotating him a little bit, and almost playing him somewhat similar to like a hybrid type of linebacker, like the Isaiah Simmons role, if you guys remember that from Clemson, where he would line up like 6-7 yards off the line, pretty much in the box, and sometimes he would sprint back and cover the deep third, or he'd stay in the box and defend the run. So definitely has a little more versatility than like just a traditional free safety, which like we saw from Bud Clark a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really like Thieneman's game. I thought that it's just clean, like it's just clean film. I mean, and you didn't see him miss too many tackles this year at all. I know there's some previous years where he had that, but he didn't miss any tackles. I was watching the film. I liked how they used him too. They used him like as like kind of like a center fielder sometimes. Like it was like he played like he wasn't like he was at a different depth than the linebackers, especially like again and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was interesting how they played him that way, and he was able to kind of just navigate and make some plays, play in coverage, and do a lot of cool things. So I'm a big fan of his game too. Like it doesn't understand him and McNeil Warren are so close. Like it's just who do you prefer? And I think the combine is going to kind of separate those two, like the athleticism, right? And he might just blow it out of the water. But the thing is, you talk about it might put him in the first round. Yumanyori, I know he had a crazy combine, didn't he? Yumanyori, didn't he?
He ran like a 4.3, and he still slipped in the second. Even Warrior's problem was he couldn't tackle coming out of South Carolina, and the gets with McDonald fixes that issue. I think that was the big part, but I'm looking at it for Thieneman, and had 9 missed tackles this past year at an 8.3% rate per PFF, and it's gotten better every year. Like as his 2024 season at Purdue, 15 missed tackles, 12.8%. Freshman year at Purdue, 16 tackles, 13.1%. So he got a lot better at that.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about him, and we'll see like examples of this even in like the plays he makes, he's not going to knock anyone backwards. He is susceptible to getting trucked, and I think we've seen that a little bit this past season, and especially when he's playing in the box, like he's going to give up some extra yards after contact, and sometimes that's going to be a first down. That's the one knock or one concern I have about him as far as like being that versatile type of guy. He's not someone who I trust to be like making short yardage stops or anything like that. Not that you're expecting that from a free safety too much, but like you'll see he can get dragged by some running backs from time to time.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, so I did Chase Bisontis. I think Chase Bisontis is I think he's one of the top guards in this draft. He's definitely regarded as one of those guys that is gonna basically kind of be in that day 2 guard position. I wouldn't say he's a first round guard or anything like that, but when I started doing, like, I remember I evaluated him earlier in the year. I was like, I thought he was a little bit more athletic than I thought going back into this film. So I thought it was super interesting. Damn, he had a bad grade against Miami, but
they took it to him a little bit.
They took it to a little bit at Miami, and he still had some good reps there in that game. But I'll kind of talk about that game a little bit. But he ended up only giving up. During the only 12 pressures all year. So most of his pressures came in that game, right? So, it's more about like with him as a run blocker that I kind of feel like that. I don't know if he would be a scheme fit for the Raiders, just because I have a couple of reach blocks in here, but like it's just not something that he does very well. Or like, does he move that well? But in pass protection, he does have good feet. He has good feet. I think sometimes he can end up leaning sometimes where, especially what you saw against Miami, also with his play strength too is really not there as well. So since he's not the strongest guy in the world, like the Miami guys were just like kind of just ripped through him, and eventually he ends up losing late in the down. So that's why you saw some of those pressures. So it doesn't look as bad on film as it does in the stats. But like when he's blocking Messidor or Bain, like they kind of just kind of rip through. Like Bain got one sack, and the ball got out of there quick enough. It probably would have been a sack, but since Bain is just stronger than him, he's able to just kind of keep ripping through him, and he gets the sack there. So it was just one of those things with me. It was just like sometimes the strength's not there all the time, and I wasn't as impressed as I was before when I first watched him, which is weird. So I mean, kind of means if I need to go back and watch more of these guys, since I was like, oh, this guy's gonna be really good, but now I'm like, oh, he's probably more of a 67 guy, or like more of a
third round option.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah,
it's funny you say that because I haven't like studied Bisontis that much, but like I know like obviously like you think pretty highly of him, or at least used to, and then like Brandon Thorne thinks pretty highly of him. Like a lot of people in the draft space that I respect, like they all say really good things about him. But like from what I've watched him, because I've watched a ton of like obviously defensive tackles with Bleacher Report and stuff like that, and I usually pick the Texas A&M games when I can. And he just kept getting beat. Like the Miami game's the one that like sticks in my head. Like you bring up Messidor and Bain. Ahmad Moten, if I remember correctly, got him a few times. Moten ended up going back to school. But yeah, like so I'm like, again, I haven't studied him, so like I'm not gonna make any declarative statements off of what I've watched, but when I'm focusing on the defensive tackles, but I was like, yeah, there's been a handful of times where I feel like I've noted, be like, oh yeah, this guy beat Bisontis. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy beat Bisontis. I'm like, maybe Bisontis isn't always cracked up to be. So to hear like that you're on your second watch, you're like, maybe it's not so much. I'm like, all right, maybe I was onto something. So interesting dude to look at. So
yeah, he is. It's just more about like I was expecting. I guess there's probably some other games I watched. I forgot what games I watched earlier this year. I think I watched like Notre Dame and maybe I forgot the other game, maybe LSU or maybe Missouri. I forgot which games I watched earlier this year when I evaluated them. But yeah, I guess the Miami game and just kind of did it.
Yeah. If you want to sell yourself on Bisontis, do not watch the Miami game.
Maybe that's what it is, man. That's what it is. Yeah. All right, let's get into some. Let's do Bisontis first. All right, here we go. So start off with the run game with Chase Bisontis here. So his first rep here on this one against Texas. Now, this will talk about a little bit of the play strength. I mean, this is a good block initially here, right? I mean, you can see pretty quick off the ball here, right? Good pad level, right? I mean, good hands. Everything you like. I mean, it's pretty good technique on this one, right? Good base. Now, you can kind of see he's just not able to get too much push there, just a little bit. But you kind of see like later on when he's playing some bigger dudes that are just monster guys, it's gonna cause him some issues there. But like I said, I mean, he's clean from a technique perspective for the most part. All right, so another good get off here. Right, good placement right there, and you can see him get some drive on this one too. I mean, like I said, it looks a lot better against Texas here. Boom, get the hands inside, and you see him kind of just drive, right? But it's not really like a dominant, like it's not like a dominant play strength. I mean, he's kind of just riding 99. 99 is kind of just flowing with the play a little bit too.
Yeah,
he's holding him a little bit, so it's not like he's in like full control there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Matt? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he has the strength to like stay attached, but not necessarily like dominate and drive a guy 5 yards past the line of scrimmage or something like that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Series against Miami here.
Uh-oh.
This is a good rep. This is a good rep. A good rep. But like you can also see a little bit of the play strength too as well. That's what I'm talking about. Like, but you can see this ends up being a good rep. It was funny. They didn't run the ball against Miami at all either. I didn't understand that. It was weird. Weird game plan.
It is a tough front to run into.
Yeah, it is. It is. Damn, man. Like at least give these guys some help a little bit. All right, here's another rep on this one. See, like this is kind of exactly what I mean, but like the play strength though on this one, because you could see like boom, get the get off right, get the hand placement. You can see so worried about Ruben Bain. It's funny
Yeah.
how worried he is about Ruben Bain. Like he doesn't even care about 5, right? But he does a good job of resetting and getting his feet right. Right, but he's not getting really that much push. He just kind of it's just a good block, right?
Yeah. I feel like he's more upper body strength than like lower body, like a little top heavy.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Just judging off the couple plays you've shown. Yeah,
he's not getting any drive with his legs or anything like that.
Yeah.
All right, next one. So this one you kind of see how good the grip strength is, and like the anchor ability is pretty good with Bisontis, and since this ends up kind of being like a pass rush rep, and you kind of can see as I said, he has good feet, he's agile, right? He can move a little bit. See, he has good feet. He can get his feet set here, and then gets his feet planted and anchors here, which kind of helps this kind of quarterback draw type of thing right here. Boom, he's able to kind of just get his feet planted and hold this block. You kind of see the upper body strength is a little bit better there, the grip strength. I like this rep right here. It's probably one of his better reps, but it ends up being a pass rush rep. But there's a spring Marcel Reed there. He might have one of the worst passes you're ever going to see. I'll tell you that right now. All right. So here's probably one of his better reps right here. There we go. So you see on this one, boom. And then, like I said, because it ends up being kind of like a combo block here on this one. So I mean, you're not seeing too much zone here, but this is what you want to see more from him, is him getting this drive here, driving with his legs, getting low. Because I like how quickly he was to pick up. This is Moten too. This is a good player, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I like how because he kind of has like a little bit of a bear hug here, and he's able to reset his hands there. Boom, get a push.
Yeah,
it's been a good rep, man.
There's the push we were looking for.
Yeah, there it is. All right, this is probably his best block on this one, but like even this one, like it ends up being like a pancake, but it's not like the most impressive pancake in the world. So you get a combo block on this one, right? Another one right here, right? Some more duo here. Get the combo block, and then like it's just like he like lightly puts the linebacker on the ground, but it's a good, you know what I mean? Like boom,
yeah.
You get to the second level, boom. It's just like a light. Even though it's kind of part of the missed tackle there, but it still does. He does the job. It does the job here.
Yeah,
and you kind of see like maybe with the lateral movement that he could probably run outside zone, but it's just something that just didn't do at Texas A&M.
Yeah, I mean he's super quick to like help in that type of scheme. I feel like he moves, like you said, he moves laterally well, but
yeah,
to translate.
Gotta see. All right, so let's get into the pass protection here. This is probably his best rep against Miami here. He gets 1-on-1 against Ruben Bain here. And you kind of see in pass protection, it's a little bit of his issues because when he's in the run game, like he has pretty good technique. But you even see here, I mean, it's something maybe he could fix. You could see his chest is just open.
Yeah.
Right. And Bain doesn't do a good job on this one as much, but it's like because he has quick feet, he's a good anchor, so you're not able to just kind of push through him all the time like this. But there's like a couple reps here, he just gets blown by because he's just swinging and missing.
Yeah.
All right. Here's another one here. I do like the intelligence on this one, be able to pick up this stunt like this. I like that.
Yeah,
good job picking up the stunt here. Good read, seeing that. You could make the case that he's so worried about Ruben Bain anyways. He doesn't really care about the guy the stunt like this.
Yeah. Left tackle's late to pick it up because he's worried about Ruben Bain.
He is worried about Ruben Bain, man. They're worried about Bain this game. For good reason. For good reason.
Yeah.
Makes sense. All right, next one here. And this one I'm talking about, like he has a good anchor. Like I really like that's probably why people like him a lot, because he does have a good anchor. Like you see here, like as I'm talking about, the hand placement isn't the greatest here. Like I like the reset though, but he anchors so well, right? He just gets his feet planted. It's just hard to move him, and he just holds on. He has good grip strength. It's hard to move him.
Yeah, he can get away with exposing his chest when he can just dig his heels in the ground, which is interesting why he's not like a people mover in the running game. But.
Yeah, right? It doesn't make any sense.
I guess you could chalk it up to being strong, but maybe not explosive enough. I don't know.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because here's another good rep here. Like he kind of gets a little hand in the face here from this dude. But you see when his hands are, does have good placement here. Like you see his hands are nice and tight. Gets the placement there. He has the feet and the anchor ability to kind of just stonewall guys. So he does do a lot better in pass protection. He does. Here, boom. You see he has quick feet. Oh, I don't know where. I mean, miscommunication here, I guess. But. All right. Next one. It's another good one. It's just the anchor he has. It's probably the best thing he does is anchor. You see it one more time here. 44 tries to hit him with a bull rush, right? And he's just able to plant those feet in the ground, and he just doesn't move. And he does a good job of, basically like a hop drill. You see those let me do that type of drill, man. This is basically perfect. What that drill looked like. Yeah, man. All right, next one. It's probably a good rep against Messidor here.
Yeah.
But you can just see it. Like look. I mean, if Messidor, I really feel like if Messidor tried to go through here, he probably would have did a better job. He tried to go around him, and you see how good his feet are. That he's able to handle that pretty well.
Yeah.
Try to go around him, get the feet there, but also he's not able to hold that block too as well. And like I said, this is just awful throw.
And that's why he went back to school.
Yeah. and you see like those linebacker tries to run through him. Was a good job of anchoring right there on that one too. Just a good job anchoring there. That was nice of him here. I didn't have any of the really bad reps on this one. That was a nice time.
Even this like rep too. Like I feel like this is a good example of like where if he keeps his hands tighter, like letting guys into his chest, like he does kind of get reset, walk back a little bit. And he can stymie that by keeping his hands tight.
Exactly. He's got to fix that for sure. Because this is a linebacker. How this guy 220 pounds. You know what I'm saying? He gave him a little bit of push there. All right, last rep here. It just kind of shows intelligence on this one. Here's the last rep. So, kind of just showing intelligence on this one. Just pick up the stunt. Does a good job there. So yeah, so I mean, there are a lot of things to like about him. It's just, I'm not really showing those bad reps, but it's just because the anchor ability is what he does best. You see it again on this one. Boom, good anchor here. You kind of see the hand placement. It's kind of funky hand punch there.
Yeah, he winds up.
Yeah. But that's Bisontis. Like I said, it's good anchor ability. It's just not a lot of push in the run game. For my liking when I watch it back. So I don't know if he's a guy at 36. I would say, but I would say like maybe if you feel comfortable enough taking him at 67 or something like that, even an athletic guard position, as somebody could take. But I do think you got to clean up some things in his technique. I think you got to build up his lower body a little bit too, and then and fix those couple of those things and see what he could do. I don't know how good he would be right away.
Yeah, I can see that.
That would be my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like options go at 36, I mean, Vegaion's probably going in the first round. I'd be surprised if he made it out of D1 at day one. But I feel like I don't know about you, just watching the two breakdowns, I'd rather see like a guy like Pregnon at 36 than Bisontis or one of these other defensive guys at 36. So he's definitely, I think, just from what we've looked at, like you said, a little bit more of a third round option than that top of the second round.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get some Dillon Thieneman, man.
Start with Thieneman. That's going to take me a minute to make sure I get the pronunciation correct. But start with him playing the run. be a good example of him in the box. And he's not a guy that's going to take on a ton of blocks. What I like is his like patience, and then he's like he knows when to crash downhill, when to attack. Like you'll see on this one, he does step downhill initially when Penn State goes with a little duo run here, but then he's going to kind of pull up right there and just kind of wait to let the trash like settle in front of him, and then collapse and converge downhill to come up and make the stop. But this is a little bit of what I was talking about him kind of giving up extra yards after contact. Like you can see, like this was 3rd and short, and he does get him, or excuse me, it was 2nd and 4, and he does get him down to set up 3rd down. But this easily could have been 3rd and 4 instead of 3rd and 1. He just kind of ends up giving up that extra yards. We'll see even more examples of that in a second here. This time I'm going to play from more of a too high look. Just love the read too. Like his instincts are pretty damn good as a safety. He's, we'll see a bunch of plays of him, a bunch of examples of him making tackles against screens and just reading it. Same kind of deal here. Like he's going to come from depth, reads the jet sweep, just crashes downhill, and then on top of it has the speed to be able to make a play and for a 4 to 5 yard gain when he's starting at 11, 12 yards of depth.
Yeah.
Also does a good job of breaking down in space when he's tackling. So
yeah, that's one of my favorite tackles right here.
Yeah. This one, he got a little more physical on him. And Kai Lemon tries to jump over him, tries to hurdle him, get on the cover of next year's college football or something.
Yeah.
Dillon Thieneman says, "Not today, son." But like same kind of thing, like right, similar type of plays we just saw, a little jet sweep motion with the lead block here, and he's pretty quick to read it.
Yeah. Starting
at about 8 yards off the ball, and he comes downhill and makes a tackle for I think maybe 1 yard gain, maybe right at the line actually. Yeah, I don't think they gained anything on that one. Here against Washington, I think this is going to be a little QB draw. Yeah, it's play I was thinking of. So this one, what I like too is like he understands the situation, like situational football. Like Denman Washington is going to get 10 yards on this, but it's 3rd and 15. Like we don't care about 10-yard runs on 3rd and 15, right? So what I like is that he's kind of like stays back. He's like, I'm going to stay deep in my coverage and make sure this is a QB draw, and it's not like a RPO or whatever, something like that. Maybe he tries to hit that slot receiver. And now I crash downhill and break down too because this quarterback's pretty shifty.
Yeah.
And ends up just making the tackle. We put the punt team on the field, get off the field defensively. It's a nice one from the backside too. Nice little move here to avoid the trash again. Not like he will adjust his path and again adjust what he's seeing. Like you see, like he's originally going to start to come downhill and maybe trying to attack right here, but then when the running back bounces, he bounces with him, ends up getting involved in the tackle for just a 2 yard gain. Again, from the backside of a safety spot. So speaks to his athleticism. All right, I like this one again for a couple of reasons. First, like he just kind of makes a nice adjustment against a read option, like what you're going to see. And I'm going to pause it right here so you guys can see this a little bit better. Playing the read option gets tricky because normally in a normal situation, right, if this was just like a stretch run to the running back, I want my safety like playing with outside leverage and funneling everything back into the defense. But with the read option, like you can see the offensive line, especially if you watch this linebacker, is influencing everything this way. So your help is actually the outside where we have a 3-on-2 advantage. Or I guess 3-on-3 because this tight end's going to go out and block. We have the numbers on this side. So what I like that he does that, and the reason why I bring that up is he's going to keep the quarterback, Williams, on his outside shoulder and funnel it that way. And then on top of it, he has the athleticism to kind of bend it down the line right here and end up making the tackle himself. Yeah. But you'll see this works out perfectly too because this guy right here is going to be able to beat that block. So just heads up situational awareness and understanding the play design, and on top of it, having the athleticism to take advantage.
He's just clean, bro. He's just a clean player.
Exactly, for sure. Very clean. I like this one too. Like, know how you're built. I don't want you taking on the 310-pound Samoan. Make that guy miss, and let's go make the play. But again, you see the same thing. Like starting here. This is the that formation that Oregon liked to run. You were talking about earlier with the too high look, and he's. I guess you technically call him a strong safety here, but he's still like a good 8 yards from the, off the line. Just reads the run, comes up and makes the play.
Yeah.
Moving on to him playing screens. Again, this is going to be a bunch of the same reps, same formation, same look from Oregon. I like that one too. Like kind of almost the same play that we just watched against USC. just against a wide receiver this time that he's making miss. Crashes downhill and comes in a nice play. Penn State did get 6 on that one, but do like the read from our safety there. Thieneman. I don't know why I want to call him Thieneman for some reason. This one was the one that I really kind of highlighted his strengths and his ability to diagnose quickly. Like you'll see, he's again playing at a too high alignment here. 11 yards off the ball, 10 yards off the ball. And once he sees that screen, now he crashes downhill, and you'll see the tight end kind of come out to block him, but it's too late. He just runs right by, and he ends up making a nice tackle for loss against a shifty receiver in Lemon, who a lot of people like as a first-round guy. Nice little breakdown.
Yeah. Except me. That's all. I'm alone on that.
I know, man. You're the only guy that I know of that doesn't like him, but I'll take your word for it.
Anyways, keep going.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, this is going to be another one. Technically, he doesn't make the tackle in this one, but same kind of thing that we were talking about before. Just good job using athleticism to make this offensive lineman miss. Like you'll see, even right about here, he's going to kind of stem this way and give this influence this offensive lineman up the field, and then put his foot in the ground, change directions, make a miss, go get involved in the tackle. I think we got one more here. Yeah, one more from depth.
Yeah,
this one was a true safety play because that might be 6. Maybe this safety gets him. Maybe this guy catches him.
Yeah,
and you see here we get the missed tackle from the corner because Thieneman is just so quick to read it and has the speed.
Yeah,
it still ends up being like a 3-4 yard gain. Yeah, and you're right.
Nice,
and a nice open field tackle. Moving on to him in coverage, a little disguise cover 3 look. I like this play call from Oregon. Show too high and then drop basically the strong safety and the linebacker down there in the deep third. But now you can see, he's barely in the picture. He's going to tackle this guy short of the sticks to prevent the third down conversion. And see a little bit of even when he's coming to help the defender, he's still kind of giving up those extra yards, but he's going to be in the right spot to make. And I think he'll bring the guy to the ground. He's just not a thumper, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Tampa 2 look. This one's more than anything is just going to show his football IQ. Obviously, the Oregon ends up giving up the first down here, which isn't good. But from Thieneman's perspective, he does a great job of plastering to his guy on this scramble drill. And he recognizes, pick on Bryce Betcher, whose game I do like, but Betcher makes the mistake of crashing downhill against the scramble from Aller. But what I like is Thieneman recognizes it, comes off his man once he sees the throw, and then just makes a nice play. So he prevents a bad play from being worse. Which is
exactly
what you're looking for from your safety a lot of the times. I think it's gonna be another coverage stop. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now this one, again, this was actually probably one of his better tackles. Penn State does get 9 on it. This is a tough cover because you're going to see Oregon. I think there's a little cover 7 because Tosh Lupoy's a Nick Saban disciple. So you're going to see a little cover 7, which is basically cover 3 with just zone match principle or man match principles. And on top of it, they run a little play action, which if you watch our linebackers here, they're both going to flow hard. So reason why I call that out is no one is going to have the dig, right? We got a deep third, deep third, deep third. And then our 2 linebackers are influenced by the run fake. So no one's there, but Thieneman recognizes it. I mean, before the ball's even out, starts driving on that dig route.
Yeah.
And gives us at least a chance to get out the field. I mean, it's 2nd and 1. The odds are pretty low. But, hey, the chances out there maybe we can get 2 run stops to put the punt team on the field.
Yeah, he reached the field super quick.
Yeah. I mean, you see the same kind of thing on this one, like you said, just reading the field, playing in that strong safety role. Again, another example of where maybe a lack of size, maybe a lack of strength kind of plays into a factor, especially when taking on the tight end, because he contacts him 2 yards short, and he makes a great read on it. Problem is he's just not big and strong enough to prevent the first down here. USC ends up getting it.
He ain't no AJ. He is not AJ Halsey, who just probably takes his dude's head off.
No, he's not. Halsey's probably got about 20 pounds on him. Yeah. One more here, I think. Oh no, this one more of a scramble drill. Again.
Yeah, I like this. This is my favorite one. Yeah, I love this one.
Demon Williams, he can fly.
Mm-hmm.
But you can see here on Thieneman on the in zone coverage, just kind of closing on the quarterback.
Yeah, straight out of Gilbert, doesn't it?
Williams.
Yeah.
Let's say LSU legend. Which one is this one? Oh yeah, this one was one of my favorite plays you made the entire season. Partially because he kind of baits Drew Aller into this throw. Like you'll see this, he'll see the run fake, and he starts to crash downhill, like, and then like right here just kind of pulls up.
Yeah.
And part of me, like, especially with like Aller like pulling that ball pretty quickly and knowing how good Thieneman's like instincts are, I do kind of feel like he's just like, it's like, all right, I'm gonna sell it, and then I'm gonna pull up and make him think, or I'm gonna sell it to make him think the tight end's open on the seam route, and then pull up. He ends up going to the pick. And the thing I like about this play too is this was the second overtime in a big road game from Oregon that kind of set the tone for the rest of the season. Yeah, and he comes up big with a big play to help seal the win. A hell of an athletic play too. This is why you're expecting him to tear it up at the combine. Yeah. The change of direction to be able to hit the brakes right here and then kind of work laterally and then go up and get the pick.
Yeah, great catch too.
Yeah, nice play. Now you can see why he had 6 picks his freshman year at Purdue. And the reason why I want to include this one, obviously, it's not quite the same rep, and he does lose the receiver here on the scramble on the little corner out. But I will cut him a little bit of slack. Like this is a trick play from USC where they're gonna run like a fake play action to Lemon, then throw back to Lemon so that they can run a double pass. But Thieneman just kind of stiffs it out. You see the same thing where he crashes downhill initially on the run fake, and he just kind of picks up this slot receiver. Again, he does lose him, but the reason why he loses him, and they'll cut him some slack here, is he's looking back to thinking that the quarterback still has the ball. Like you can see, like in man coverage, he never sees the double pass. Yeah, so cut him a little bit of slack that he loses the receiver right here. I think that's Jacoby Lane too, from USC. And what I like too is like you can see the speed where he's eventually going to close that gap and be in a decent spot. But I like 90% of this rep, or the 90% of this rep was perfect. It's just not expecting the double pass when your back's to the quarterback is a tough one to read. Yeah. Let's see which one is this one. Oh, this one he doesn't get the turnover, but like the end zone view will do a better job of showing it. He kind of forces it. Like perfect Tampa 2 coverage here. Like you'll see him like again lining up in the box. This time at more of a linebacker depth, which speaks to his versatility. Oregon's going to kind of run to like an inverted 2 here or inverted boundary, and then he's basically just running the seam. He does a great job of like closing the gap, like first protecting the inside, protecting the middle of the field. And then closing the gap and getting like a little physical with them to tie up that receiver and prevent that receiver from being able to go up. And then on the overthrow, that corner covering the deep half is able to take advantage. Like you'll see right here. Yeah. Kind of gets his hands on him. It's nothing too major, but he just uses his hands to tie up that tight end. Exactly like you said. Good coverage. Yeah. And 7 here makes an athletic play. Go turn it over. It's going to be the last clip we'll see here. I will admit this one is just kind of a last second late game heave from Williams that Thieneman just kind of gets a gift a little bit here. But I do think there is a little more nuance to this play. Like you're going to see Oregon's running another version or variation of cover 3, and they're going to get like a dig route here. And what I like is he recognizes the dig, passes it off to this safety, goes to replace the safety, but instead of just kind of hanging out in the middle of the field covering grass, he's going to get his eyes back to the quarterback and sees Williams is about to throw and about to hit this, this go route, I guess, or this corner route maybe, pylon route, and then just kind of adjust his path. And then from there, it's just a matter of tracking the football and capitalizing. Now we take advantage of the gift. Now it's easy. But for the most of the process, like just passing off that dig route, replacing when the safety nails the crosser here, and then adjusting his path to the ball to come away with the pick.
Yes, sir.
Seal the game. So
game over.
Yeah. That is one of the things that I kind of like about Thieneman's interceptions is like, yeah, he only had 2 of them, but one of them was literally to win the game in overtime against Penn State, and the other one was to kind of put the game on ice against Washington in the fourth quarter there. So he comes up clutch in some big moments this past season, and on top of it, he's just a guy that I think you can consistently rely on to be in the right spot, and can come in and play the run, and he's gonna bring guys down. Just don't expect him to be the hammer. Don't expect him to be Bob Sanders back there flying from 12 yards deep and taking people's heads off. That's not going to be his game.
Yeah. I'll say his game's clean, man. It's just clean. It's like, yeah, can he take anybody's head off? You're right about that, man. But like, he's a clean tackler. He's going to get those. He's going to wrap you up, though. He's going to hold on for dear life, right? He's going to wrap you up. He's going to be in the right spot. I think you can move him around a little bit. I like how Oregon used him, though. I like they kind of made him like a. This is what I'm saying. It was like, he wasn't really a linebacker, but he was kind of like it was like he's in between, but it still had 2 safeties behind him sometimes, and sometimes he would still be up there with the safety, the 2 high coverage. So I wonder, if that's something that, if the Raiders got him, they could be creative with him like that, because I think there's a lot of things you could do with him. And I even think that he could play a little coverage in the slot a little bit. He can move him around. Yeah. And, he has that versatility that probably wasn't used with Oregon that might be he could be able to use at the next level. So yeah. I'm a big Dillon Thieneman fan. I'm interested to see where he goes. So that's what I'm saying. I think he might be there at 36. I think it's a good chance. And if the Raiders go that route, I mean, I'd be excited with that pick.
Yeah, no, he's a safety that can kind of do it all. It is. I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, you can use him in a lot of different ways. I mean, granted, if you look at the Raiders' makeup, maybe you can say that they need a true free safety. But what I'll say is that's what they need right now. When we're talking, a year or 2 down the line, maybe you could use a versatile guy that you can put in the box if you need to and whatnot.
Yeah, I agree, man. All right, so we're out of here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. I got Mendoza versus Maryland up on the members, so join the membership. You can check that out as well. Also, check out our episode with Caleb Rogers. We got the little cool breakdown with Caleb Rogers.
Caleb Douglas.
Oh, Jesus Christ. With Caleb Douglas? I'm happy I didn't do that in the show. With Caleb Douglas. With Caleb Douglas, it's a great episode. Learned a lot about the wide receiver position. So check that out that one. And then, of course, we'll be back, guys. And I'll be out in the combine next week, so I don't know how much we're gonna do doing a show, but we'll do something next week. We're gonna do something next week, guys, for sure. We're out of here. All right, peace.
All right, peace.